Hi, I'm just wanting quickly, if I can, to talk about just a sec. Sorry. Yeah, just talk about something that I've been thinking about for a little while now, and I've only just got around to it. And by the way, my camera is just still going on, so bear with me. Yeah, this is all about something I'm a big fan of and have been for a long, long while. My passion for Australian cinema movies. I've loved them for years and years, going back to my 20s and before that actually. I've got a few examples here, but yeah, it just that I realised a long, long ago that Australia were a real force in movie making, and they did just as many good movies for me as Hollywood did. Of course, the tops will always be Hollywood, I know that, especially in terms of financial power and so forth. But yeah, I don't think Australia maybe have the kind of financial power and backing that Hollywood does, but they are a real force to be reckoned with in terms of movies. I've seen so many. One of the first examples I can think of, which I saw way back. In fact, I can't remember the first one I actually saw, which was an Australian movie, which I knew about. But it was one of the two. But the one I'm talking about is the original. I've got it here. I've got the remake as well, but the original Patrick. Yeah, which I have here. Yeah, I have here. Yeah, from the late 70s. An absolute cracking supernatural shocker. And that just made me take note. I thought, well, this is an Australian movie. It made me take notice, really take notice. It was a great movie. And I've got the remake here, which I got just recently, about a year ago. So I've got the remake here. The other movie which really made me take notice of Australia, excuse me just a sec, sorry. Yeah, the other movie which really made me take notice of Australian cinema was one that I've got here, which I just recently got on Blu-ray. Road Games. Absolutely brilliant. I'm a massive fan of Road Games. Stars Stacey Keach, and Jamie Lee Curtis appears in it as well. And yeah, it's directed by the great Richard Franklin. Brilliant Australian director, filmmaker, and his idea was to create like a Rear Window like murder mystery on the road, and boy did he succeed. Massive fan of Road Games. Yeah, I can't stress that enough. I'm a huge fan. I've seen it, I've viewed it, many views of it, many. Yeah, must be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 perhaps. But yeah, and one of my favourite chapters is later on when he's well, I won't give anything more about it. There's not enough time to talk about that. But yeah, I've just got a massive passion for Road Games. I absolutely love it, and a terrific ending as well. So yeah, if you haven't heard of it, then I highly recommend it. The other one, which I still feel I should apologise to Australia now for this actually. Yeah, the other one, I used to think this was an American movie. Then I found out different. It's an Australian movie, and I didn't know that until I later found out, and this was about 4, 5, 6, 7 years back. Yeah, it's actually my 4th favourite movie. Yeah, yeah, my 4th favourite movie of all. Dead Calm. Brilliant thriller. For me, I prefer it to Jaws. A soundtrack which is the greatest soundtrack I've ever heard on a movie, or one of the greatest soundtracks I've ever heard. It's eerie, it's sexy, it's epic, it's haunting, it's brilliant, it's menacing, it's all of the above, you know. And it was never released on CD. Oh, whatever. But yeah, Dead Calm. for me, the greatest Australian movie that Australia ever made. Yeah, and yeah, my fourth all-time favourite movie. So they're really the top ones that I've just spoken about. There's many other ones that I've got. I'll see if I can make this brief, like I say. I've got a copy. I just recently got Long Weekend, a creepy eco-thriller, Australian eco-thriller, made in the late 70s. I just recently got that. Really creepy. Best eco-thriller I've ever seen, when nature declares war against a couple who are rather careless. Yeah, so I've got that. Yeah, it's over there in a box. Yeah, and I've seen that. I've viewed that twice, I think. But yeah, I recently got that. Got Wind Rider, Nicole Kidman's first adult movie, first grown-up movie. And she did that, I think, a couple of years before, well, a few years before she did Dead Calm. So, yeah, and speaking of that, and yeah, by the way, a lot of the Australian movies that I do have, I've actually got, I think, 16, 17, 18, and I'd like more. Yeah. But, yeah, I've got many of the Australian movies that I have. A lot of them feature Nicole Kidman. Can't imagine why. But, yeah, a lot of them do feature Nicole Kidman. I've got BMX Bandits. I've got Room to Move, which is a recent one, where Nicole Kidman plays an up-and-coming athlete. I think made by the Australian Film Commission or something. But yeah, they're really great. It was, and it's very rare. Only just been released. And there are quite a few others. I've got Emerald City. I've got Strangeland, which is a much more recent one with Nicole Kidman. It's real, quite a grim mystery actually. But yeah, I've got loads, and I've got quite a few, and I've got another one. This is a modern thriller, a modern simple thriller, Siren, with a touch of the supernatural. And I've got Sirens, which is a comedy, an Australian comedy. So yeah, I've got many of them. Yeah, so I've got a considerable amount of Australian movies. I just have this massive passion for Australian movies, which goes back a long way. And I'm proud to say, I'm a published author. And the first script I ever wrote, I set it in Australia, which I find really, really interesting. And so, yeah, there's been so many movies that I've loved from Australia, and yeah, I've got a passion for for nearly almost every one of them I can think of. Mad Max. I've got Mad Max down there on Blu-ray. That's another brilliant revenge. Yeah, basically a revenge thriller, isn't it? But yeah, I do not have the sequels. All I'll say about that is I'm not interested. But I love the original. Yeah, the original Mad Max is just brilliant. Just goes to show what you can do on a limited budget, on a small budget. But yeah, I think that's all the ones I can think of that I'm mentioning, which I can think of now. There's been a few movies which have been filmed in Australia, but that doesn't make them Australian movies, right? So the one thing I have noticed though, and great erotic drama, Sleeping Beauty, another Australian movie which I've just remembered. Yeah, Sleeping Beauty, Emily Browning. A few years back I think that came out. Yeah, some years back. Yeah, made in 2022 or 3 or something like that. Yeah. So yeah, that's all I can think of right now. Any others, well, I've forgotten them, I'm afraid. You know, I'll probably kick myself if I realise I've forgotten other ones, but there you go. But yeah, the one thing they haven't done, I think, and I think they should have a go at it, but the one movie I don't think they do is science fiction. I've never known there's an Australian science fiction movie, and I think it's a damn shame. They seem to have cracked every other genre. Because most movies that I've got that are Australian movies, they seem to belong to all different genres, you know. Every movie I've got does seem to belong to a different genre, so that's strange how they've never done a science fiction one, but there you go, they just haven't. I would like them to, though. Yeah, I hope they get around to doing it at some point. But yeah, there are Australian movies that I would like. But I'm not sure about one or two of them. I've heard of Razorback, but I'm not sure about that one. Yeah, it's a great Australian classic monster movie. I do remember it, but I'm not yeah, a bit iffy about that one. But yeah, I'm always on the lookout for a new Australian film. I did actually look up online to see what else was out there, but there's quite a few out there, so it'll be a long search. And I suppose a lot of them probably aren't even available on Blu-ray or DVD. So, well, just have to keep looking, I guess. But yeah, that's the sum and total of Australian movies, which I absolutely love. So, Australia, yeah, keep it up. You've made some belters, Australia. So, yeah, thanks a lot. Cheers. Bye.